Hello guys, welcome to Minecraft Feed the Beast Let's Play. This will be episode 13, part 2 of the tree farm, or multi-block tree farm, slash powering your base on a multi-block tree farm. Alright, so as you guys can see, got stuff flowing through it pretty nice now. Apples are usually going to be a little bit of a problem, but they come as they come. One thing I did notice, I didn't need this top, which I think I took off in my regular world too, because these saplings will... Come on now. Oh, I probably took it out before it left here. So let's put these in here. And you don't really need this chest. You could just pipe everything through this system. But I like a chest as a buffer and a place to be able to, put some items if I don't want to have to go through everything. See, that one went down now. And filled up that. Everything is for the most part stopped due to the fact that this is full of biomass now, so it's no longer working. And the extra saplings, that's why I got the barrels, because you will have extra saplings too. So, next part. What are we going to do with this biomass? Well, I do like buffers, so what we want to do is pump this biomass and put it somewhere. And where we are going to put it is an iron tank. Now you make the iron tanks. You could just put it through a regular regular Buildcraft tank, but it doesn't hold that much. You could also put it in a portable tank, ender tank, if you don't want to have all these extra lines that you're going to see after this. But ender tanks don't hold all that much either. So if you hover over these, it will tell you the different sizes, heights and diameters. I think I did a 5x9 for mine, which is way overkill, but I kind of like how it looked. So for this, we are just going to do a 3x4. Or I would do 4x5. So what you are going to do is fill these up. You can use any combination of the tanks, iron tank gauges, which we don't want down here. The things you are going to need though are valves, because hey, got to get stuff in and out of it. And the places you want to put the gauges are, you need one on the bottom, because that's the one you're going to use to pump stuff out. You can't put any gauges on this outer wall. On the outer wall or these corner pillars that we're going to have. Basically, this shape right here needs to be tank walls. The bottom layer, oops, you guys don't need to be there. Basically this stencil pattern. Anything else, you can put whatever your little heart desires. And what I like to do is use these tank gauges. You will see why. You know what? I wonder if the top can... we'll test that out in a second. See if this works. You'll know because, yep. See how we lost the borders? So now when you right click on it, it is an iron tank. This one will hold 1.6 million. I forgot how that converts into buckets, but another thing, if you have this thing filled, if you break something, you lose the multi-block. But as long as you don't break this valve down there, that's where the data is stored, you can swap things out on your tank without losing all that fluid. And what we want to add, actually we'll add it over on this side, is another valve. See, added that, it reformed. From that, we are going to use a fluid duct off of there. Boom. Now you will notice nothing is draining because we need to turn this to be out, and we can use the lever, but you know I'm not going to do that. I am just going to install what to get rid of. We'll get rid of the grass. So we have an empty hand to turn it on. With the opaque stuff, you can't see anything. That's what I usually use, and I kind of recommend it. It's cheap, but if you want the visuals, you know, even with the opaque, notice how when I'm hovering over the fluid duct, it has biomass on it. That's because that's what's in there. And we drained it all out, so now you'll see that we are making more. And if you look in here, you'll see it filling up in here. Now the bigger this is, obviously, the more it will hold. So, for instance, this holds 106. If we start to do this, notice as soon as I put something on it, it started losing some of the stuff. And it looks empty right now, right? Have no worries. Because once we do this... Oh, let's see. Okay. Let's check this. That should have formed. Why you don't want to act right? Apparently, I still have something in here messing with something. No, it's clear all the way through. Very odd, very odd. Alright, so we have the diameter of 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonder if this is a glitch or something. Let's go back down to where we were before and see if that reforms it. Nope. Alrighty guys, I will be right back once I see what's going on with this. It's probably just a glitch. But alrighty, be right back. Alright, I'm back. That was odd. Well, when I went back to go back to the 4 high, I know what I did wrong, and that's because this glass was the top layer. But I added another row on the top. Like so. And you'll notice it's kind of glitching out for a second, and then it'll reform. You know, this isn't really doing anything right now. And then break these. Let's put new ones on the top. Voila. And I did break this valve, and it still remembered all the other stuff. So, or still remember the data. So it's that center one. And now, see 2.4. It looks like 400,000 per layer at this diameter. So, alrighty. So now we have the apples, which I see an apple pop in there. It goes pretty quick. So that being turned into apple juice. Over here, the fruit juice is being turned into biomass, which that's usually going to be empty because it pumps it right away over to our incredibly ugly tank. There we go. I just like the glass walls because, you know, you can see what all's going on in there. And we'll do this last side. And yeah, it's in creative. I'm going to tear this all down later, but also serves to show you how you can modify it and not lose all that in there. Okay, so what are we going to do with this stuff? We are going to pump that stuff out and into another machine. What machine will that be, you may ask? And where do I want to run it? Okay. Heard a little explosion somewhere. I don't have any crazy machines going on that should have exploded, but what we are going to do is, in order to take the biomass, now there are biofuel engines that will take it, but I wanted to use dynamos, and the dynamo that I wanted to use is this one, which requires fluid fuel and a coolant. Now these will not take biomass. At least I couldn't get it to. But what I was able to get it to. Alright, so tree farm's there. We'll put you guys right here. Alright, alright. Let me lay you down first so that the other guys stay right without me having to sit and wrench you all around. Alright, so now we right click on these 2 slots, water, fuel. Now how we are going to get these fuel, can't talk today, is a still. Pretty easy to make. And we are going to put the still right here. Why? Oh, so I can just pipe off of that and make my life easier. So now it has power. It doesn't have anything to distill. So let's take care of that real quick. Let's get to this valve on the bottom. Oh, that's nice. Apparently when it's coming out, you won't need to put that on there. So, and yes, I realize that I'm getting a little OCD about holes and stuff like that. And we will hook it up to the bottom of here. Now, if all is going right, yep, you will see the biomass filling up. You'll see this slowly go down. I have noticed that, at least with my tree farm and the stuff I have, which is basically, besides the tree farm actually being a 5x5, hey creeper, why don't you go away? This part's the same. After this tank, I actually have 2 stills. See, right there, ethanol. And with said ethanol, cover that up, we are going to run that over to these guys. So let's throw a wrench on it just to see if it'll automatically go. Nope. So we're going to have to put a servo on it. And once we do that and do that, ethanol. So now the ethanol is filling these guys up. Let's do this real quick. The other problem, these leadstone will only transfer 80 per. Alright, so we have these guys which will generate 80 per. So we are going to have to upgrade these to the hardened. Well, that's we're gonna need one of you guys anyway. Oh, there we are. And we will hook these guys up like so. Gonna go here, and we have an empty energy cell. Set to receive everything. Now, one problem I usually have with these is telling the front, that's the front. It will eventually fill up as it fills up with power. Alright, so we have ethanol. It's slowly filling up. Usually when you first do it, it's going to fill the first one. And then it'll start going all the way down. when that's full or something, it will split itself amongst all those the initial time, but after that it's going to fill them up as they go along the line. Cool, cool. So now we have the ethanol, we need the water, and oh, for crying out loud, man, do you mind? Thank you. Yes, you know what we're going to do, the same thing we always do. Because I love aqueous accumulators. So let's get fluid ducts going. Am I? Yeah. Alright, so we have the fluid duct, which we're going to put down there. Do-do. Aqueous accumulator. Now if I wanted to, I could run it from the one over there. I'm pretty sure it has enough to keep going. But don't want. Alright, so bang, bang. Automatically fills up. And as you can see now, if I could double hit my spacebar, all these guys are now going. You know, you got your water, infinite source, you have the ethanol being used slowly, being created by this guy. Pumped over to here, and we have our energy cell, which I always use as a buffer. And that is pretty much the system. Let's do this. It's going to be very extremely ugly. I should flip this the other way. Because once you're at this point, and you don't need the cells anymore, what you can do... Alright, it's going to be ugly, but... yeah, I'm changing everything out. I used the harden just to make sure I didn't have any lags in my line. Now this is obviously run differently in my base. Alright, so you got going that way. Oh, jeez Louise. Let's take you off. And we can actually... Alright, so this is disconnected from here. So, we are no longer running on any of the cells. See? It's still showing some power in there. Let's see. He's no longer running. He's no longer running. Alright, so got all that. Now all we need to do, so I'll still be in charge because there's still one that has fuel in it. So we go like this, and we're facing it, so the one to the right, we're going to change to output. And notice how these lights started lighting up. That's due to how fast or how full it is. You'll see we're now running out, or we're running a deficit, so it is pushing power out. And this is running. This is running. That's running. So now it's like a closed loop. When you have a decent supply of stuff, because eventually, well, the hard part's getting to this point where all these will run and it goes into a cell. My setup, I think I'm only running, I think I was running 3 motors because when I ran all 5, I wasn't using power. Chrome. As fast as, there we go. I wasn't using power as fast as I was building it up. So yeah, it's all self-sufficient. The only thing you really need to get is the dirt and fertilizer, really. Here, trees getting chopped down. And, you know, getting a lot of wood, extra saplings for whatever you want to use it for. Oh, one other thing that I do have hooked up on mine. At the end, I actually have a chest instead of a barrel for that sand. Because that is the other thing that the tree farm will produce. Once it uses the soil enough, it will turn it to sand. So, just give me a second. I will be right back, and I shall show you this operation in my real world. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. In my real world, it is night outside, so let's sleep real quick since we will. Come on now. The heck is that? You're gonna make me grab this bed. I thought I had an extra bed. Alright, we can do all this inside. So, right out here is a tree farm. There's the hatch. Gearbox is actually power running to that. See the item duct running through, comes out here. Here's the squeezer. Oh, you know what? We'll turn it back on in a second. Fermenter. I have my barrels. I made a larger oaken barrel too because a lot of wood being produced here. There's one apple in here because I thought I might eventually overflow with apples. I don't see it happening, but it could. The other thing, this creates more mulch than this uses. So that's why I have this mulch in the overflow. Cool? Cool. So from here, we got the It's empty right now, but the biomass that this guy's creating runs through here, comes here, runs down. Kind of fixed this up because, as you can see, I moved the other engines. I don't know if I was going to make another little room here or what, but let's just go downstairs. Here is my big old tank, which is run through this back wall somewhere. Yep. All the stuff is being pumped into two stills. Still of one, still two. I thought about doing another big tank for the ethanol, but I just put this one on there for now. There's a little example of how that'll work. And that is run to these guys. Now, I do have a line coming off of these guys just to run the stills, just to make sure that they're always running. And my hardened energy cell is completely full. But I didn't put levers on these, I just turned them off by putting the control to high. But we can turn these on for a minute. Oh. And since these are on, these are going to work, but I also turn my energy cell off. Notice at this top, that more tannish, that's off. So now it is on. And it is using a lot more to get everything moving again. You see it slow down. I think I needed 3 to kind of balance it out. Yeah, it's not that slow. But you'll see, there's keeping full. I'm not sure on this tank. If that does fill up, I may have to make another tank, but you'll see I am now getting biomass again. Let's go over here by the other machines. I could have put all the machines down in the basement, but I'm eventually going to pretty this room up because it's pretty ugly now. And I'll change it into a little farmer's house or something. But as you can see now, we're motoring through apples. Everything else going. The saplings coming through. Still night out. Yep. Which always makes me paranoid because I don't want to get blown up. See, plenty of dirt. There's still dirt in there every now and then. Saplings. By the way, this is the first stack of fertilizer that I put in there, and you'll see I've only used 21. So yeah, this is it. Keeps the energy cell full. I actually got another one because I just started charging up more of them. You'll see the saplings keep going. The only minor thing is when this does hit 64, it would let some through because the junction is way back there. So once it leaves there, it knows where it's going, I think. Which is why sometimes stuff gets bounced back even though there was room. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Hope this is helpful. Maybe you throw it in your world. Still pretty basic. there's a lot of stuff to it, but it's pretty basic. So that's all. As always, be good. See you later.